I didn't plan to record this tonight. The room was already quiet, and I was content to let it stay that way. But some nights feel heavier than others, and this is one of them. My name is Harold. I'm 89 years old. I'm sitting in the chair by the window, the same one I've had since my wife passed. The cushion sinks more on the left side now. Everything I own seems to lean a little these days. Like it's tired too. People think reaching this age comes with answers. It doesn't. What it comes with is time. Too much of it, all at once, spent with memories that no longer need your permission to show up. There's a promise I made once. I don't talk about it. I never did. Not because it was dramatic or noble, just because it felt easier to leave it where it was. I told myself I'd get to it. After things settled, after the next year, after I felt more like the kind of man who could keep it properly. Life gave me plenty of afters. I just kept choosing later. I grew up during a time when men didn't say much. My father believed silence was a kind of strength. If something hurt, you carried it. If something mattered, you didn't risk saying it wrong. I married young. Everyone did. We built a life that looked sturdy from the outside. A small house, regular routines, the kind of days that blur together until years have passed. There was comfort in that. There was also distance. The promise came during a summer that felt ordinary at the time. Those are the ones that fool you. Nothing announced itself. I remember the room. The light was coming in through a half-open curtain, dust in the air, someone waiting for me to speak. I didn't. I told myself it wasn't the right moment. Work kept me busy. Busy enough to feel useful. Busy enough not to notice what I was avoiding. I was good at being needed for practical things. Fixing, providing, showing up where words weren't required. Waiting feels harmless when you're in the middle of it. It feels responsible, mature even. At my age, it feels expensive. I replay that summer sometimes, how little it asked of me, compared to what it took away. I think about the weight of not keeping it, how it followed me into rooms that had nothing to do with it, how it showed up in small hesitations, in things left unsaid, again and again. When she died, I stood by the bed and felt something familiar settle in my chest. Another moment asking something of me. I said goodbye. I meant it. But even then, I stayed careful.